I am a monster, I am the son of Sam. Attention all police, shoot me first, shoot to kill or use any other method to kill me. Get out of here or you'll die. New York City in 1977 was a mess, with its 8 million residents living under the terror of the .44 caliber shooter. People wondered if they would become his next victims. To make matters worse, another shooting occurred, attributed to the same shooter, who left a provocative threat letter addressed to the detectives investigating the case, claiming to be son of Sam. Who was the son of Sam? Why was he roaming the dark streets of New York, killing innocent civilians? Perhaps every big city has its own antisocial killer. If Taipei City had Zheng Ji, then New York City probably had the son of Sam, leaving lasting scars on the citizens that time couldn't heal. Tonight, let's delve into the dark story of the son of Sam. 24 years before the son of Sam's killing spree, on June 1, 1953, a baby boy named Richard David Falco was born. Unwanted by his biological parents, he was put up for adoption, indifferent to his fate. The unfortunate boy found a home when he was around 4 or 5 years old, adopted by a Jewish couple named Berkowitz, who raised him as their only child with love. He was renamed David Richard Berkowitz, and his adoptive father told him that his birth mother had died during childbirth. Little did he know that this was a lie. His birth mother was alive and well, and he never suspected that in 20 years, he would become a killer known as the son of Sam, reveling in random killings in the city where he grew up. Young Berkowitz was a bit of a troublemaker, disliking school but enjoying causing mischief like arson and theft. Concerned, his adoptive parents took him to see a therapist. Did therapy help him? It's hard to say. Berkowitz never had serious delinquency records or court troubles during his upbringing. His misbehaviors could be seen as signs of future trouble, but they could also be explained as typical teenage rebelliousness. When Berkowitz was 14, his adoptive mother died of cancer. His adoptive father remarried, which seemed to negatively affect him. However, he stayed home, finished high school, joined the military, stationed in South Korea, and honorably discharged at 21. Looking at these experiences, Berkowitz, while displaying some misbehavior, wasn't excessively evil. His life seemed ordinary, filled with the expected love. So where did it all go wrong for him? That's a mystery from his upbringing we can't solve. If there's one flaw to pick out from Berkowitz's life journey, it might be his complex feelings about being adopted. After his discharge, he sought out his birth mother, met her, and learned details about his birth, including that his biological father didn't want him. This reunion wasn't heartwarming, it shocked Berkowitz deeply. Learning he was abandoned and unloved by his biological parents was devastating. If Berkowitz had a fulfilling life, maybe he could have overcome this shock. However, his post-military life wasn't happy. He tried community college for a year, struggled with odd jobs for a few years, changed jobs 7 times in 2 to 3 years. He drove a taxi, then became a postal worker, none of which brought him fulfillment or helped in his emotional journey, which remained a blank space. Life wasn't kind, and anger accumulated in him, becoming a dark force. We don't know which disappointment pushed him over the edge into killing. What we do know is that from 1976 to 1977, New Yorkers faced a year of terror. New York City in the 1970s wasn't safe, with robberies, assaults, and murders happening daily. Despite this, being shot without reason at your doorstep was beyond acceptable. Donna Lauria probably didn't expect her 18-year-old life to end on July 29, 1976. Though early in the morning, she sat chatting with her friend Jody Valenti in a car near her home. It shouldn't have been dangerous. but when Loria opened the car door to get out, a man appeared out of nowhere. "What's going on now?" Loria said, startled by the man. The man, with a gun hidden in a paper bag, shot Loria and then Valenti. He then fled the scene. Loria died instantly. Valenti survived with a gunshot wound to her thigh. Loria's parents, hearing the shots, found their daughter dead, devastated. Who took away Loria's young life? Valenti couldn't identify the shooter. It wasn't a revenge or robbery. The shooter's motives were beyond comprehension. Police couldn't solve the case, leaving New York City's security in question. A series of bizarre shootings followed, a couple smoking marijuana in a car, suddenly shot at and fleeing in panic, high schoolers walking together, shot by a man asking for directions, one of them paralyzed for life, an engaged couple heading to a dance, separated forever by a sudden bullet, a college student trying to block gunfire with textbooks, fatally shot in the head. Each case seemed inexplicable, leaving police clueless. But ballistic analysis revealed a shocking truth: all these shootings used .44 caliber bullets from the same gun. In the chaotic city, a random killer lurked, crossing neighborhoods to kill. And he might strike again. Despite knowing these seemingly random shootings were connected to one serial killer using .44 caliber bullets, police had no idea about the killer's appearance or characteristics. Composite sketches based on survivors' testimonies varied, making it hard to narrow down suspects. Media heavily covered the son of Sam, replacing the dull .44 caliber shooter, adding an aura of demonic worship to the chilling murders. Was there an unspeakable motive behind these random killings? As Terry delved deeper into the investigation, he uncovered startling evidence that hinted at a more sinister truth. One evening, while digging through old case files, he stumbled upon a forgotten witness statement from the night of Donna Loria's murder. The witness, a neighbor who wished to remain anonymous at the time, had seen a man lurking near the crime scene shortly before the fatal shots were fired. This man wasn't David Berkowitz, he was someone else entirely. Intrigued by this revelation, Terry tracked down the witness, now living in seclusion outside the city. After hours of coaxing, the witness finally revealed what she had seen that fateful night. It wasn't Berkowitz she saw, it was a tall, shadowy figure with piercing eyes and a menacing aura. He looked like death itself, the witness recounted, her voice trembling with fear even after all these years. "I knew then that he wasn't human, not like us." Terry's mind raced as he listened to her account. Could there be another player in this deadly game, one whose presence had been overlooked in the chaos of Berkowitz's arrest? The pieces of the puzzle were falling into place, but there was still one missing link: the motive. As Terry delved deeper into the witness's story, he uncovered a web of secrets that led him to a small, secluded cabin deep in the woods. Inside, hidden among dusty old books and decaying furniture, he found a journal belonging to the cabin's previous owner, a man obsessed with dark rituals and ancient cults. The journal spoke of a being known as the Demon Dog, a malevolent entity said to grant unimaginable power to those who offered it blood sacrifices. The more Terry read, the clearer it became: Berkowitz was not the mastermind behind these murders, he was merely a pawn in a much larger game. With newfound determination, Terry pieced together the events leading up to each murder, drawing connections between the victims and the cult's twisted beliefs. It wasn't random, it was a carefully orchestrated series of sacrifices meant to appease the demon dog and unleash its unholy wrath upon the city. Armed with this knowledge, Terry approached the authorities with his findings, urging them to reopen the case and pursue the true masterminds behind the son of Sam killings. The road ahead would be long and perilous, But Terry knew he couldn't rest until justice was served and the darkness lurking in the shadows was brought to light. The authorities were initially skeptical of Terry's claims, dismissing them as conspiracy theories fueled by sensationalism. However, Terry refused to back down. Armed with his research, he sought out experts in cult behavior and demonic worship, gathering evidence to support his theory. Through painstaking interviews and forensic analysis, Terry uncovered a network of individuals with ties to the occult, including prominent figures in New York's underground scene. He traced financial transactions, unearthed hidden messages in cryptic symbols, and pieced together a timeline of ritualistic gatherings that coincided with each of the Son of Sam murders. One key piece of evidence emerged from an unlikely source, a former member of the cult who had since renounced his ties to the group. Under Terry's persistent questioning, the ex-cultist revealed chilling details about the cult's inner workings and their ultimate goal, to unleash chaos and destruction upon the city as a tribute to the demon dog. Armed with this insider information, Terry and a team of dedicated investigators launched a covert operation to infiltrate the remaining cult members and gather concrete evidence of their involvement in the Son of Sam killings. It was a dangerous game of cat and mouse, with the cultists proving to be elusive and cunning in their attempts to evade capture. But Terry was relentless. He followed every lead, sifted through mountains of data, and built a case so compelling that even the skeptics within law enforcement had to take notice. Slowly but surely, the pieces of the puzzle fell into place, revealing a chilling truth that sent shockwaves through the city. The cult's leader, a charismatic and enigmatic figure known only as the High Priest, was finally unmasked. His followers, devout in their belief in the demon dog's power, had carried out the gruesome murders under his command, believing they were fulfilling a higher purpose. In a dramatic showdown, law enforcement raided the cult's hidden sanctuary, apprehending the high priest and his inner circle. As the truth came to light, the city recoiled in horror at the scale of the conspiracy and the depths of depravity that had fueled the Son of Sam killings. Terry's relentless pursuit of justice had unraveled a web of darkness that had lurked in the shadows for years. Though the scars left by the Son of Sam murders would never fully heal, the city found solace in knowing that those responsible had been brought to justice, thanks to the tenacity and determination of one man who refused to let evil go unchecked.